Good evening, Christine.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, Christine, thanks for taking the time out tonight to join me on this call. Good to hear from you. Christine, I just thought what we'd do tonight for the benefit of any listeners would be just to maybe talk a little bit about your background, just so people get an idea of where you are sort of coming from, basically. So maybe just want to sort of share a bit of that with us, maybe.
Right. Yes. Well, my background, I'm an Australian and travelled the world quite extensively. Have always had a bit of a weight problem pretty well all my life. I can't ever, when I was a wee child I didn't, but apart from then I always have. I'm now nearing 60, I'm almost 60. And my occupation, I work as a gardener at present, which is a complete change for me. I used to always do office work, but I thought, no, we'll have a change at this late stage of life, which has worked out well. And I thought that, well, here I am coming up for 60. I'm almost 17 stone, 1 pound off 17 stone, and decided that, yeah, I'm going to have to do something.
And could I ask, what had you tried before you started on the Coach Me Slim and Trim program?
Oh, I think I've got every diet that's ever been written in our library upstairs. But apart from trying to do things on my own, I was in Weight Watchers 3 times. I was asked to actually leave once.
3 times, you were?
Yes, 3 times. I was failed every time. It was just, I could get to probably half a stone, and that was over probably about 6 to 10 weeks. I'd get that half stone off, and it wasn't working for me. I don't know whether it was my mindset or the food was, it just wasn't working for me, whatever the problem was. I've tried that. I've been to Slimming World. Again, I got to about half stone, maybe 9 pounds, and then just slid backwards, and that was over a 6-month period. And I kept, I'd lose a pound, go back a pound. Then I tried hypnotherapy, which I thought was really going to be, an easy fix, to be honest. But again, I don't know whether my subconscious wasn't cooperating, but it just didn't work. I've been to a counsellor, went back all through my childhood with her, trying to find out where the problem was. One of my biggest problems was with butter, and I was given a magic word to say to help me get through things, but it didn't help me where my weight or the butter was concerned. The Atkins diet, that was a bit more of a success, but it was something that my family wasn't very happy about me being on, and in the Weight Watchers, the really downside of one night was leaving me feeling really bad about myself was being told that I was the piggy in the corner for the week and had to sit in the corner for the entire evening with this silly, like a dunce's cap on, because I was the pig for the week. And the psychological effect of that wasn't very good. I kept going, and I actually ended up in that corner a number of times after that, but I felt so downtrodden, to be honest, after that I gave up for a long, long time.
Well, I mean, it sounds to you, and I know I've worked with a number of clients, but certainly your history of trying to lose weight is, I would say, a very, very comprehensive one. I dare say you could probably write your own diet program, and some pretty horrendous experiences in there as well.
Yeah, some weren't very pleasant at all. I've got to give you that, yes.
Now, you and I have been working together, and you've been working on the Coach Me Slim and Trim program now for 6 weeks. We've gone through 6 weeks.
Yeah, we've had six lessons with you, but we've actually been on the diet for 5 weeks.
Or well, say diet more, the coaching as opposed to a...
Well, yes.
And I'd just like to know what sort of weight have you lost in that? First of all, tell me what the goal was to begin with. And then for 6 weeks, and then
yeah.
what you've actually achieved in the 6 weeks.
Right. Well, the goal initially was when the first week that we were with you, I wanted to lose 1 stone and 2 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of 5 weeks, I've lost 1 stone and 1 pound. So, and I'm sure by the end of this week that that other pound will be gone. Can feel it melting away as we speak.
Fantastic. And could I ask, Christine, what was it that actually made you start off on the Coach Me Slim and Trim program? You know, what sort of brought you to this point in your life where you wanted to make a start?
Right. Well, it was my 19-year-old daughter who's facing going off to university next September, this coming September, and unfortunately I've passed all my bad habits onto her, and my love of food and of cooking. She's got the whole kit and caboodle, and she was desperate to do something, as you know, an 18-year-old doesn't want to be wearing a size 16 or maybe even an 18 outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to do something, and my niece had success with a personal trainer up in London, and I wasn't sure about it, and I thought, we'll try it and see how we get on if there was anybody local. And your name rang out. Actually, I've got to say that one of the reasons we chose you was that you looked quite stern, and we thought, oh, good, he'll be really strict with us. So I thought, oh, that'll be really fantastic. So, yeah, so that was, and then when we had the initial meeting with you as a family to see whether Claire was up for it or not, I was just really impressed with the way you approached it. Certainly it was a very brief outline, but nonetheless it just sounded like something that suited me completely, and that even though I've been through the mill with all the other diets, I thought I've still got something to learn here, and it just appealed to me completely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So would you say you were doing it in a maybe a supportive role for your daughter as well as for yourself then?
Well, yes. Certainly I wanted to lose the weight, but I also wanted to be able to, to be there for her and to keep her on the straight and narrow should she's fairly strong-minded, and she's very determined about losing this weight. But I also want to be there if there was any hiccups and know where she was coming from. So going along with her, I'm relearning things that I must have been told, but I'm relearning so much more, and I'm taking it on board. It's actually sinking through. And and I'm there as a supportive role for Claire as well, and she is for me.
Which is great.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
And just remind any listeners, or let them know, how much weight has Claire lost in the 5 weeks?
Claire's lost 5 pounds. I beg your pardon. She's lost 11 pounds, and she had a trip to Italy in amongst all that, and yes, and she was she couldn't pass up on the pizzas even then. But even so, with the mindset that you've given her, she was able to control a lot of that, and she was very mindful of how much exercise she was doing to how much she should or shouldn't be eating. And so even with that trip away, she was able to lose the 11 pounds.
No, I know she's doing fantastically well, as you both are. And what would you say you've learned most over the last 6 weeks